Thank you. So my job today is an easy one. I just have to turn up, look gorgeous, and say a speech. Easy. But I've got a little bit of an extra job today. I've got to be grateful and thankful. But my first task of all, is to confess. Is to confess to a lie, in fact. A lie that you've all been party to. I hope when I tell you that you'll forgive us, and when I explain, I'm sure that you will. You see, today, as beautiful as it's been so far, has been tinged with a little bit of sadness. And that sadness is for the absence of a certain man. And that man is Lizzie's late dad, Nigel. I know Lizzie will be feeling the sadness. I know her mum and her sister will be feeling the sadness. In fact, all of Lizzie's family will be missing him. Because what I've been told, he was an amazing man. He's got a larger-than-life personality. And let's face it, he'd have to live in a house with Sharon, Catherine and Lizzie. I've been told great stories about him. About how Lizzie, when she fell off her bike, he told off the bike and launched it over the garden fence. Like how at Christmas he'd buy huge Christmas decorations for the front garden. Just because he got so excited about Christmas. And about how when his van would pull up onto the drive, kids from all over the area had run to the drive to find out what he'd been doing that day, much to Sharon's annoyance. He was a great man, and a man who I feel that I definitely would have gotten on with. But although I'm pretty sure that he would have taken the mick out of me for being a lot older, a lot fatter and a lot bolder than Lizzie. But he was a man that I'm really sad to have never have met. In fact, Nigel isn't the only person that's missing today. We're missing my Uncle John, my Uncle Jim, and my good friend Dennis, and many more who were taken from us far too soon. We're missing those who were too ill to come today, and those who've just been unable to attend for whatever reason. So my first toast for today, and quite possibly the most important one, if I could ask you all to stand for me and raise your glasses high, and that is to absent friends.
Absent friends. Absent glasses.
So you're still thinking, what's the lie? Well, before I get into the lie, if I could tell you quickly how it came to be. When Lizzie and I first got engaged, I was so excited to ask my amazing cousin-in-law, Harry, to officiate at our wedding. And I think you'll all agree he did an absolutely amazing job today.
Yeah.
Thank you, Harry. As you may have gathered, the Reverend Harry Steele, chaplain to the Bishop of Sheffield, no less, is a man of the cloth. And as such, he's unable to legally marry anyone unless we're on consecrated land. As beautiful as Willowbrook Hall is, it's not consecrated. So the vicar and the vicar's wife hatched an evil plan of lies and deception. You see, we'd been looking for ways to include Nigel in the wedding somehow, and Lizzie's original thought was that we'd get married on his birthday. We thought that'd be a really nice idea. But this year his birthday fell on a Monday, and that just wouldn't work because not many people would be able to make it on a Monday, and this venue wasn't available when we checked. So on Monday the 22nd of May this year, Nigel's birthday, Lizzie and I went to Barnsley Town Hall with my mum and Sharon, and we got legally married. Now, I say legally married because that's how we saw it. Paperwork. A way to include a dad in the celebrations, and a day to complete the legalities. Today, our union was blessed before God and before the most important people in our lives. When we were at the town hall, I was talking to the registrar and I referred to today as the fake wedding. And she immediately shot me down. She said, it isn't fake. The single most important part of any wedding is to profess your love and declare your union in front of the people you love the most in this world. So stop calling it fake, she said. Today is the paperwork and June 10th will be the marriage. So, that's the lie. I hope you all forgive us, and I hope you all understand. Now, that's out of the way. I want to tell you a little bit about Lizzie. Lizzie and I met, as Harry said, when I was in a really sad place in my life. My previous marriage had broken down and I was miserable. I was contemplating turning 40 on my own, and I couldn't really imagine a way of being happy again. Lizzie was a customer of mine at the bowling alley. She used to bring her service users bowling regularly, and myself and the other members of staff often commented on how good she was with them. She always made them laugh, she cared for them well, and she treated them like people, and I really liked that. And on one particular day, she noticed that I was sad. She asked another member of staff what was wrong. And they explained to her that I'd recently split up from my wife. And she exclaimed at the top of her voice, "Wife!" I always thought he was gay. So she came over to me and she started to talk to me and she made me laugh. Not a fake laugh like I've been doing to everybody else, but she really made me laugh. And her kind heart and her amazing ability to put people at ease shone through. And we began a really, really good friendship. I started to look forward to Thursdays, because that's when she came to the bowl. And I always made sure that I was working on a Thursday day. And if I was off for that week, then I'd find a reason to come in. We added each other as friends on Facebook and we started to message each other outside of work. And eventually, I plucked up the courage, after a while, as Harry pointed out, to ask her on a date. She didn't reply for ages. She read it because I checked. She'd been online several times because I checked. But eventually, after what seemed like a lifetime, she said yes. And our first date was everything I could hope it would be. We never stopped talking, we laughed so hard. As Lizzie said, I nearly killed us twice in the car because I was paying far too much attention to her boobs instead of driving the car. I kept the location of the date secret from her, and when we arrived at the Alhambra Theatre in Bradford for the opening night of Wicked, Lizzie looked impressed. I'd done well. The cast were taking photos outside with the press. A huge witch's hat protruded out the front of the theatre, and a woman, fully painted in green, dressed as a witch from head to toe, was greeting people as they entered the theatre. And as we went in, Lizzie looked at me and she said, "So I'm guessing it's a play about witches?" From that day, our friendship grew and grew, and we became inseparable. And eventually, after asking permission from Amelia and William, I asked Lizzie to be my partner. I moved in with her, sold my house, asked her to marry me, and the rest is history. Lizzie, you saved me that day.
Well, don't do this again.
Oh, here we go.
Most people look at you and see the bravado, the jokes, the fooling around, but what anyone who knows you properly will understand is beneath all that is a woman with the biggest heart and the most amazing personality. A genuinely beautiful person in every sense of the word. We've been together now for 7 years, and I still can't get enough of you. I hope that I can continue to make you laugh in the way that you make me laugh, and I hope that I can continue to make you feel as special as you make me feel when you look at me with those beautiful eyes. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll indulge me again, please stand, raise your glasses again, and join me in my second toast of the day, and that is to Lizzie.
To Lizzie.
Elizabeth. Sorry.
Have you done
Now, there are a few people that my wife and I would really like. Now, I'm not going to spend hours dragging people up to receive gifts and shake our hands. Let's face it, we're all starving. So, I'm going to thank everyone individually, but there are a couple of people that we would like to mention. Firstly, our parents. We are both blessed to have amazing parents who literally support us through everything that we do. We always know that we can rely on them for anything. And my parents in particular did a marvellous job of raising me. Sharon, you've welcomed me into the family with open arms, and for that I'm truly grateful. Thank you. I'd like to thank William and Amelia for helping with the planning for today. Amelia, with the help of Catherine, has done all the table centres, and she painstakingly wax sealed every single one of the orders of service. William, well, William's brought the swag. He accompanied his nana down the aisle, and he's brought a little bit of Nigel with him as well by wearing his granddad's ring. So thank you, both of you. I'm reluctant to thank him before the speech, but my brother Paul is my best friend in the world. We don't have to speak to each other. We don't have to speak to each other every day. We don't see each other half as much as we like to. But I always know that he's there. I hope that he always knows that I'm there as well. He took on the role of best man without hesitation, and for that I'm truly thankful. Thank you, Paul. The bridesmaids, the groomsmen, the flower boy, I think you'll agree did an amazing job, have all been fabulous, and again, I thank you them all for being a part of our special day. We're lucky enough to have an international award-winning hairdresser in the family, and she did Lizzie's and all the bridesmaids' hair this morning. Thank you, Amy, you did an amazing job.
Yes, thank you.
And then Richard. Not only has he represented Nigel in exactly the way Lizzie wanted him to, but he, with Tracy and the girls, have travelled over from New Zealand in order to celebrate with us today. That means the world to me, but I know it means everything, the world and more to Lizzie. And we really do appreciate it, and we're so glad that he came. It wouldn't have been the same without you, so thank you, Richard. In fact, everybody in this room played a part in our journey as a couple. Lizzie and I have joked throughout the planning of the wedding that this wedding is not really anything to do with us and about everybody else. But in reality, that's the truth. It's exactly about all of you guys. You all mean the world to us, and we love each other, each and every one of you. My boss, the owner of Barnsley Bowl, Mr. Colin Gaylor, who's here with us today, he told me this once, and I always quote him: you get the measure of a man by the company that he keeps. And as I look around this room today, I can feel the love and the support for us both. It's almost tangible. In fact, as I look around this room today, I know that me and Lizzie are doing okay. So, if I could ask you, please, one last time, to please stand, raise your glasses high in the air, as I make the most important toast of all, to family and to friends. To family and friends. Thank you.